Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Wretched Rich. This video fought me tooth and nail, and I had to do more editing than I've ever had to do on one single video. I persevered, and I was able to save most of the video for your viewing enjoyment. Chuck Neff and Dana Eubanks will be hosting this video.
As you probably know, it's recommended that you not discuss price at this time. You want a chance to establish the total value of the car before you do that.
Well, damn, how much were they asking for it? Well, it was loaded, and I mean loaded with things that no one had seen before, and I mean, it had crazy new technology. That being said, it had issues. All the advanced electronics made you feel like you were driving a rocket ship until they quit working. And in this video, you're gonna notice that the sound is so out of sync with the picture, it'll make you ill.
The best of the best came together for the championship, and Oldsmobile is proud to recognize these top professionals.
And yes, they had a goober contest in 1985 to see who the top salesman was of the year, and he got the star in his own video. And then we head over to the design department. That's right, this video is an absolute overload of 1986 Toronado information. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.
The 1986 Oldsmobile Toronado is every bit as innovative as it was when the first of the new front-wheel drive Oldsmobiles was introduced 20 years ago. Sure, the drive is now the rule rather than the exception. And yes, so are onboard computers. And a few cars have electronic instrumentation. But none measure up to the sophistication of the 1986 Toronado.
Few can match its outstanding road performance either. With standard features such as four-wheel independent suspension and automatic leveling system, as well as a new SFI V6 and 4-speed automatic transmission. It would be hard to match the special feel of this Oldsmobile.
Obviously, a thorough feature presentation and a well-planned demonstration drive will increase your chances of selling every new Oldsmobile. And with so much that's new on the 1986 Toronado, you'll want to use this disc, plus your sales handbook, the advanced study guide, the catalogs, and every other resource to make sure that you know this car inside and out.
We suggest you review the Toronado Consumer Disc, as well as the segment where the top Olds certified sales consultant, Mike Brown, shows you exactly how he plans to present this fine new Olds. And although every presentation varies with each individual, there are certain major features and benefits which you'll want to talk about every time you present the new Toronado. And we've asked our colleague, Tom Ingram, to conduct a walk-around presentation, just to remind you of what you'll want to talk about as you present this great car to your prospects.
Thank you, Chuck and Dana. And just in case you aren't personally acquainted with this exciting new Toronado, let me introduce you. As you know, about the best place to begin your walk-around is here by the price label, or window sticker. As you probably know, it's recommended that you not discuss price at this time. You want a chance to establish the total value of the car before you do that. Use the label to point out the many standard and available options which are on the car you're presenting. As you talk about the features, the EPA fuel economy ratings, or some of the standard or available equipment, prospect questions or comments can help guide you in your presentation. Listen carefully to what they say, because you want to sell to their interests. As you move around the car, point out the obvious features and benefits. The wheels and tires. High style for looks. Cornering lamps, which help illuminate driveways and curbs on dark nights. and concealed halogen headlamp of added nighttime visibility. We'll assume that every Oldsmobile certified sales consultant is an authority on the benefits of front-wheel drive, McPherson strut suspension, and rack and pinion steering. After all, this is the car where it all started 20 years ago. Just because you know about Toronado's traction, directional stability, and road handling doesn't mean every prospect will. So cover these features thoroughly, every time. The Toronado is powered by a new sequentially fuel-injected 3.8-liter V6 engine. It's called SFI for short, and it's controlled by one of the Toronado's several onboard computers, the Engine Control Module, or ECMs, so that the fuel is injected into the combustion chamber at the precise time required for optimum combustion, which in turn provides better performance. While you have the hood up, be sure to point out such features as the new heat-resistant wiring channels, which add a measure of protection as well. The engine compartment is well insulated to isolate both heat and noise from the passenger compartment. And whether it's at this point or later, discuss the Toronado's four-wheel power disc brake system, as well as dirt or moisture. And sure-footed four-wheel power disc brakes will interest your performance-oriented prospects. One of the most important features of the new Toronado is its styling and design. You'll want to explain how the lower front, higher rear wedge shape of the Toronado makes it aerodynamically very efficient. In engineering terms, the 1986 Toronado has a 6 coefficient of drag, an improvement of over 30%. The benefit is easy to explain. It slips through the air with minimum resistance. Overall shape is important, and so too is the somewhat steep angle of the windshield. The flush side window glass, and even the convex shape of the rear glass helps reduce turbulence as the air passes over and around the upper body. You'll want to explain that the luxurious finish of the Toronado body results from a multi-coat high-gloss enamel paint process. Point out that this body type is one of the most corrosion-resistant metal bodies ever made by General Motors due to extensive use of two-sided galvanized steel. Convenient electrically controlled aerodynamic outside rear-view mirrors are standard, as is a pulse windshield wiper system, which lets you control wiper speed as needed. Although you won't suggest such a possibility, the Toronado windshield is Oldsmobile's first use of an anti-lacerative windshield. The new Toronado rear suspension is strut-type independent, with a transverse fiberglass leaf spring. This system is fully isolated from the body, which significantly reduces road noise. You'll want to present the 3 different suspension systems, too. Will be just right for many Toronado drivers. The Level 2, or F41 system, is the firm ride and handling package, which includes firm front and rear shock absorbers and higher rate front and rear springs for improved, tighter ride control. A larger front stabilizer bar reduces body roll when cornering, and higher rate control arms and stabilizer bar bushings improve ride response. Ratio improves response and road feel. For the out-and-out driving enthusiast, the new Level 3, or FE3 suspension, or touring car ride and handling system includes the Level 2 components, plus aluminum-styled wheels and specific high-performance steel-belted radial-ply Blackwall Eagle GT tires. This system adds a new dimension of firm, precise handling performance to this fine road car. 15 cubic feet, and is fully trimmed to protect luggage and other valuables. You'll also want to mention the standard automatic leveling system, which adjusts to the load condition. As you move from the rear to the driver's door, you might also mention that the Toronado is the only new GM E-Bot front seat, which provides comfortable seating for 3 people in front. It's a 6-passenger coupe, and of course, bucket seats are available. You'll want to spend a lot of time behind the wheel when presenting the new Toronado, because prospects will want to know all about its innovative new IP. This Oldsmobile is a complete electronic car, and in order to present it, you'll need to know everything possible about its electronic instrument panel. Be sure to review the Toronado electronics segment of this disc. It's extremely important for you to be able to explain and operate all of the different IP features. Everyone who gets behind the wheel will want to know all about how it works, and you'll want to be the expert. When presenting the car to a prospect, you will, of course, explain its operation. But when delivering a new Toronado, let your new customer operate everything as you look on, and help as necessary. Show the location of the critical gauges, battery and temperature, and fuel and oil pressure gauges. Be sure to point out how the low fuel gauge can be expanded for a more precise reading. Demonstrate how to check out all the fuel data information functions, such as how much fuel has been used since the last reset, the instantaneous fuel economy, which is updated every half second, and range, the distance you can go based on the fuel remaining and average fuel economy. And all of the information can be shown in either English or metric by a simple press of the EM button. You can show how the trip odometer works and how to change the scale from miles per hour to kilometers and back to miles. A simple press of the TAC button causes engine RPMs to be displayed on the driver information center until the button is pressed again or the engine is turned off. In addition to its driver information functions, the Tornado's electronics monitors several systems and components, collects and stores data, solves and corrects problems, and when necessary, advises the driver and the service technician with either displays or audible warnings. A body computer is the brain behind this innovative system, and by using specially coded combinations of the air conditioning system controls, the Oldsmobile service technician can check the operation of every system of the car. This is a sensational car, one that you can be very proud to sell.
No doubt about that, Tom. Thank you for an excellent presentation. While the innovative application of advanced electronic technology that makes the new Toronado one of the most sophisticated of all automobiles, it is, above all, a driver's car, an automobile made for the road, a car which must be driven to be fully appreciated. So after you've presented it from bumper to bumper, get your prospect behind the wheel.
And while you're bringing a demonstrator up for a test drive, don't forget to have your prospects look at the Toronado Consumer Information video disc. And you look at it too, for it has more facts which you need to know and present. In May 1985, 6 outstanding Oldsmobile certified sales consultants met in Indianapolis for the final competition to determine who could make the best walk-around in the feature presentation. All 14,000 plus Oldsmobile retail salespeople had the opportunity to participate in this competition, and after district, zone, and regional competition, the best of the best came together for the championship, and Oldsmobile is proud to recognize these top professionals. From the Houston zone, Brett of Pearson Oldsmobile in Alvin, Texas. From the Atlanta zone, Jim Duncan of Ed Voiles Oldsmobile, Marietta, Georgia. From the Milwaukee zone, Tom Ackerman of Holiday Auto in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. From the San Francisco, Michael Donnelly of Saramonte Oldsmobile in Daly City, California. And from the Washington zone, Jeff Miles of Incorporated in Hagerstown, Maryland. Each of these gentlemen can be very, very proud of their exceptional performance. They have demonstrated how thoroughly they know the Oldsmobile products. And they have shown at every level of competition that they are great presenters. They are also top producing salespeople who are doing a great sales job for their respective dealerships. They are the best, and Oldsmobile is very proud to have them on the team. The reason Oldsmobile held this feature presentation competition was to focus the attention of every Oldsmobile salesperson on the absolute need to know every product thoroughly and to present this information to every prospect. And of course, the best way to present feature and benefit every time is to follow a systematic, organized approach. That's why Oldsmobile suggests the 7-step feature and benefit presentation. And it works, as you're about to see and hear from the 1985 national champion, Mike Brown, who is with my colleague, Chuck Neff.
First of all, Mike, congratulations on your winning performance.
Thank you.
Good job. When all of this started, did you think you had a chance of getting this far?
Well, I really didn't expect to get that far, but it was a lot of fun, and I'm thrilled that I did.
Tell me, how long have you been with Oldsmobile in Lexington?
It's been almost 11 years now.
On the average, how many cars a month will you sell?
It'll vary anywhere between 16 and 21 cars, and over the last 2 years, I've strictly been working on appointments with my customers, and all those units are sold to repeat customers or referrals. That those years of working hard have paid off, and I'm in a real nice position now.
Is there one thing that you owe all of this success to?
I think professionalism is important. Our dealers always emphasize product knowledge, helping people to see what they're getting for their money, and always treating people the way I would want to be treated, honesty and with integrity. And I think people recognize that and appreciate it.
The dealers emphasize product knowledge, but how important to you is product knowledge?
Very important. Whenever the new models come out, I spend a lot of time trying to keep up with the improvements and the changes, because I've got to be able to build value for the customer. When they see the price of a car, they don't always realize getting for their money, so it plays a very important part.
How important is the 7-step feature and benefit presentation?
Well, if you don't have a planned procedure that you're going to follow, and you don't do it the same all the time, you may emphasize certain points to customers that you wouldn't others, but you've sort of a planned route to make sure you're thorough and help the customer see what he is getting for his money. So I think it's very important, and it should just come automatic.
What about delivery and fuel fill?
Oh, that's been a great program Oldsmobile has come up with. It makes me look like the good guy because while we do our orientation drive with the customer and we explain all the features of the car again, we take a little test drive, and on the way back I'll say, now why don't you pull over here to the gas station and let me fill your tank up? And they say, you're kidding. And so I come out as the good guy. I fill the tank up. Now, since they're going to come back to see me, that means they are a repeat customer for my dealer and also a repeat customer for Oldsmobile. So everyone benefits from it.
We hear about follow-up all of the time. For you, when and how often?
Well, follow-up is the very, very most important thing that I can do. And you must follow your customer up immediately within the first few days they take delivery. Make sure that they're satisfied with their car. The car is everything we told them it would be. And then we make a regular effort of contacting our customers again within a month, then 3 months, then after that a regular contact every 6 months to make sure they're satisfied.
Not about follow-up, but for you, how often and what? Something that could last several years?
As long as they're living, I will contact them. I have customers that I've been following now for 11 years that live out of state that will still come back and buy a car from me.
If Mike Brown sounds like he knows what he's talking about, believe me, he does. Let's return now as champion Mike Brown presents the 1986 Oldsmobile Toronado to our own Chuck Neff, who will play the role of an interested prospect.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Fine. Welcome to Don Jacobs Oldsmobile.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
My name's Mike Brown.
Chuck Neff, Mike. How are you?
Fine. Mr. Neff, I appreciate you coming by the dealership today.
My pleasure. This is the 86 Toronado?
It sure is. Beautiful, isn't it?
Looks nice.
Oldsmobile has really done a beautiful job for the 20th anniversary of the Toronado. Let me show it to you. This is the long list of standard equipment on the car, the type of things you'd expect on a Toronado. Power windows, power locks, cruise control, tilt wheel, power seat, a complete electronic instrument dash, which will really make your driving pleasurable. And then this particular one has many fine options on it, such as the power sunroof and a cassette tape player. Look at these for 1986. 18 miles per gallon city, 25 miles per gallon highway. Impressive, isn't it?
Very impressive. Is it realistic?
Yes, sir, very realistic. 86. And this car is equipped with a 3.8-liter V6 transverse-mounted engine. It's a sequential port fuel-injected engine.
And that engine will get me this kind of economy?
Yes, let me show it to you.
Okay.
Mr. Neff, before I show you the engine compartment, I would like to draw your attention to the front-end styling of the new Toronado. You'll notice it's very aerodynamic, has a low-sloping hood line plus a swept-back windshield. And together, these give you a low drag 0.36. Now, what that means to you as a customer is that you have very little wind resistance, which results in better mileage. You're interested in that, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Right.
You bet.
Also, the front of your car is protected with a vinyl rub strip across the front, which will prevent damage on minor collisions. Also, the headlights, which are halogen standard equipment, are concealed under these retractable covers, which again results in a very clean front-end appearance. Now, if you would raise the hood for me. Notice how easy that is to raise.
Oh, that's very nice.
This is the 3.8-liter V6 sequential port fuel-injected engine. Has tremendous acceleration. It goes from 0 to 60 in 11 seconds. And by being transversely mounted, it gives you more interior space, plus puts the engine weight right over the drive wheel for traction in all types of driving conditions. The car also comes with see-through fluid reservoirs. I don't know if you pump your gas or not.
I do.
Well, most of us do now. And notice how easy it will be for you to check your brake fluid, your coolant fluid by just looking, and then your transmission fluid, your engine oil dipstick, and your oil fill are all clearly, so there's no question as to what you're checking. The battery also has side-mounted terminals to prevent corrosion buildup. And there's something new I want to tell you about. We have a battery guard. What that means on the new Toronado, if you accidentally leave your courtesy lights on the car, after a 10-minute period, they will automatically shut themselves off, and that prevents battery drain. Also, if it's an unusually bright day, then the inside lights may not even come on, again, to save battery power. The electric fan here that will only come on when you need it, rather than a belt turning it all the time, works like with a thermostat, like the furnace in your home. And again, that prevents unnecessary energy drain. The car is also equipped with McPherson strut suspension, which gives you good independent road ride, has power rack and pinion steering for good feel of the road, and then it has power disc brakes all the way around on the car for good braking efficiency. So all in all, you're going to get tremendous feel, and you'll know why they say there's a special feeling in an Oldsmobile. The car also is equipped with a relay center, and all the electrical relays are located in one position here, scattered throughout the car, and each one is clearly marked to make servicing easy and convenient. I'd like to draw your attention to the beautiful fit and finish on the Oldsmobile Toronado. The finish is a result of high-gloss multi-coat enamel, and it will retain a beautiful finish like this for a long time. In fact, it almost looks like a mirror, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And the quality fit is a result of the latest manufacturing techniques. Computerized robots are used to give accurate...
It does.
And the quality fit is a result of the latest manufacturing techniques. Computerized robots are used to give accurate... Computerized robots are used to give accurate... Computerized robots are used to give accurate techniques. Computerized robots are used to give accurate... Computerized robots are used to give accurate techniques. Computerized robots are used to give accurate manufacturing techniques. Computerized robots are used to give accurate latest manufacturing techniques. Computerized robots are used to give accurate fit is a result of the latest manufacturing techniques. Computerized robots are used to give accurate techniques. Computerized robots are used to give accurate enamel, and it will retain a beautiful finish like this for a long time. In fact, it almost looks like a mirror, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And the quality fit is a result of the latest manufacturing techniques. Computerized robots are used to give accurate techniques, corrosive body that General Motors has ever built. You notice here on the tires, they're 14-inch steel-belted radials, and they have M&S down here on the tire. That stands for mud and snow. And that means that these tires will give you good traction in all types of driving conditions. The windshield, too, is the first use of an anti-lacerative windshield, and inside are two inner plastic liners that will act as a shield in case of glass breakage to reduce facial cuts. You're interested in safety, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
All right. Come on to the back with me. Here at the back of the car, we can see this personal luxury coupe continues its beautiful body lines. And then for protection in the back, there are, again, protective bumper rub strips that go across the back of the car, and also bumper guards that will help keep your car looking good in case of a minor rear-end collision. Also across the back, right below the trunk deck, is a full-width tail lamp bar. And this will help people see you better at nighttime when they're following you. Also, here we have a high center mount stop lamp, which works very well when you push the brakes. It lights it very vividly. And this will help reduce rear-end collisions. You're interested in that, aren't you?
Of course I am.
Okay.
You bet.
The Toronado also has a stainless steel exhaust system, and it has a new rear-end suspension system. It's called Transflex Independent Rear Suspension, and what it is a fiberglass leaf spring that goes clear across the back of the car, and this will help isolate road noise from inside the car to give you the quiet ride that you expect in an Oldsmobile. Would you open the trunk for me?
Sure.
Here you notice a very roomy trunk. It's over 14 cubic feet, and even the spare tire now has been lowered beneath the floor of the trunk in order to give you more trunk space. This Toronado is also equipped with a new option that will automatically close the trunk for you. There's no need to slam the trunk anymore. There's another feature here on the side I'd like to show you. You mentioned earlier that you pumped your own fuel. You'll never drive off without your gas cap again because there's a convenient place here while you're pumping your fuel. Now let me show you the inside of the car. Mr. Neff, have a seat if you would behind the wheel. I'd like to show you why there's a special feel in an Oldsmobile.
That feels real nice.
Okay. How does the seat feel?
Good.
Good support in the lower back?
Very.
Well, good. We also have a adjustable lumbar support in the seat this year. With the push of a button, you can adjust the support there. And that'll make those long driving trips more comfortable, which I'm sure you're interested in, aren't you?
Very interested in,
Okay.
yes.
Notice, too, if you push on the headliner, you feel the sound insulation under it. It also goes under the carpeting, and that gives you a quiet ride in your Oldsmobile. Again, you are interested in a good, quiet ride, aren't you?
As quiet as possible.
Okay. All new electronic dash. The dash will monitor all the systems of your car so you can concentrate on driving. With just a touch of a button, you can monitor your fuel, your economy. You can change the system from English to metric. And even the electronic air conditioner is fully automatic to maintain the same temperature in your car at all times. The radio is totally new, high technology, the latest design in the radio system. And you have speakers surrounding you, speakers in the door and speakers in the rear. You also have side window defrosters up here that will blow the air on the side windows to keep your windows clear for good visibility under all driving conditions. Notice the console unit beside you. It has many different functions, rotating unit there that will serve as a coin changer, a cup holder, and even a cassette storage area. How about the legroom in the car?
Feels very good.
Yes, Oldsmobile's been able to redesign the Toronado and keep almost all of the same interior dimensions. I've been able to show you a lot of things, but there are some things I can't show you, but I'd like to show you some under-the-skin manufacturing via video.
Okay.
If you just follow me. While you view the video presentation, I'll prepare the Toronado for our test drive, and you'll be able to see for yourself all the things we've talked about.
It is difficult to imagine a more complete presentation of the 1986 Toronado. Of course, Mike could not one of the long list of standard and available features. But under normal circumstances, prospects will ask questions which will give you the opportunity to supplement your planned presentation with answers to their questions. As an Oldsmobile certified sales consultant, you must be fully prepared to make a good feature presentation on every different Oldsmobile car line. So, take a tip from me. Use Mike's winning technique as a guide to help you create your own presentation. You've heard many times just how important a proper presentation really is. It helps close more deals. And that's not just me telling you what I've heard. That's a real live top Oldsmobile salesman showing and telling you what works for him. With a little effort, it will work just as well for you, too.
Welcome to the Oldsmobile Par Excellence Information Network. My name is Chuck Neff. My colleague is Dana Eubanks. Dana and I will be joined from time to time by two other associates who will help us give you an under-the-skin, behind-the-scenes look at the exciting 1986 Oldsmobile Toronado.
Tom Ingram will lead us in exploring the high-tech world of the Tornado's sophisticated electronics. And Linda Hurd will take an up-close look at Tornado's interior, which is a new experience in comfort, convenience, and luxury. We'll also hear from leading Oldsmobile designers and engineers who will help make our look at the new Oldsmobile Toronado a different kind of experience, a new adventure in innovative design and engineering.
Through the eye of the camera and the magic of video disc, we want to give you a look at the extraordinary new Toronado like you could not have in any other way, to show you some of its many features which make this Oldsmobile one of the finest driver's cars on the American road, or any road for that matter. Dana and Linda will discuss the 1986 Oldsmobile warranty. You'll be interested in what they have to say, and you'll certainly want to read the warranty, owner's manual, and other information which your Oldsmobile certified sales consultant will review with you when your new Oldsmobile is delivered.
So stay tuned, and when the index appears, follow the instructions for an up-close look at the 1986 Oldsmobile Toronado, or for more facts about the 1986 warranty.
In the exciting world of automobile design, the new cars of today have been several years in the making and are like old friends to their creators. For example, you'll easily recognize this rendering as the 1986 Oldsmobile Toronado. And yet, if you were to look closely, you'd see where artist Andy Hansel dated it November 1980. So what's been happening in the meantime? And what's so special about this Toronado other than its new look? What should you and I know about this new Oldsmobile? To find out, we've asked the chief of Oldsmobile Design Studio One, John Perkins, and the head of the Olds Interior Design Studio, Larry Wallen, to give us an insider's look at this outstanding new Oldsmobile. First, here's John Perkins. John, when this artist concept was drawn, what was the idea behind the new Toronado? I mean, you'll have to admit that this is a radical departure from the Toronado of 1981, which was just coming out when this was being created.
Well, Chuck, our design team set out to redefine the 1986 Toronado as a personal luxury coupe. We knew that '86 would be a very significant year for us. After all, it was the 20th anniversary of the Toronado. And very early on, we felt that the car should have, in all views, a very strong and recognizable theme. We also felt that the car should be more of a driver's car, perhaps a more sophisticated image, a car that looked like it was a thoroughbred. Aerodynamics, of course, played a very important role in shaping the new Toronado, with a very soft and rounded look, but taut in every respect. So we followed the car from the initial designer sketches, through the clay model, and through a finished fiberglass appearance model, to create what we think is one of the finest Toronados ever, a car that our entire team can be proud of.
There can be no doubt that all those who worked so long to create this truly outstanding new Toronado are very proud of their accomplishments. John, from your point of view, what are the important design features of the new Toronado?
Well, I think one of our most distinctive design features, Chuck, is right up front with the full-width horizontal grille. It's combined with concealed headlamp doors, which in this case drop down and away, which give us, I believe, a more improved nighttime lighting and also better aerodynamics than would be a flip-up type of door.
Was that part of the reason you decided to do this flip down rather than flip up?
Well, I think number one, we felt concealed headlamps were right for this car, but we realized the penalties that were in flip-up headlights, both aesthetically and in the aerodynamics. So they kind of went hand in hand.
It's not just the front end, the whole car is aerodynamically sound.
Well, that's true. You have to think of the total vehicle, and of course, we had a major aerodynamic emphasis on this car starting with the early sketch right on through a scale model which went to the wind tunnel, followed up with a full-size aerodynamic test model where each area of the car was optimized for less drag, better airflow.
Is aerodynamics one reason the front end is so low?
I think, again, that's twofold. We just happen to like low hoods and feel that they're a contemporary design message. But the data from the wind tunnel tells us that they're also very good aerodynamically. So that's kind of what gave birth to the overall silhouette of the car. If you notice, it has a gentle wedge direction, where the low penetrating hood is combined with a high crisp deck lid.
Tell me about the hood. That's a little unique this year as well.
Well, in addition to being very curved and low in side view, if you were in a helicopter looking down on this, you would notice that the car has quite a bit of taper in what we call plan view. The fenders are actually tapered inward as they approach the front end of the car. And again, this is a three-dimensional form that gives us the aerodynamic improvement.
As we work our way back, what about the windshield?
If you look closely, you'll notice that the windshield is very flush to the adjacent sheet metal and pillars around it. In fact, so are the side glass and quarter window panels, built flush. Part of that aero story is also the patch mirror, which has a low drag number.
When you stand back and look at this car, you can't help but notice the styling and how distinctive it is.
Well, I think that was put in the initial theme sketches that we did on the car. And what we landed with was called a Venturi theme, where the lower curved rocker line interplays against the smooth belt line. In fact, there are no straight lines in the car. You'll notice to amplify that, the cowl line blends right around into the belt line rather than a normal offset.
Part of the look is the paint, two tones.
In fact, that's on all Toronados to amplify this Venturi theme. It gives us a thinning of the body side and I think a longer overall look to the car.
And it's a look that goes all the way back to the tail, right?
Yes, in fact, the Venturi theme allows us to flow with this upswept rear right into the rear end crisp deck edge.
We hear a lot about this being called a driver's car. Is it?
I think it is. I think it looks that way, and I know it handles that way. We have, for the first time for Oldsmobile Toronado, a third-level sophisticated suspension complete with aluminum alloy wheels and Series 60 tires. So I believe the car will perform like a thoroughbred.
There are a lot of people who may say that this looks like a European-style car. It's a lot more than that, isn't it?
I hope so. I see some similarities in the cleanness of the look. However, I think we may have gone beyond some of the European-styled cars where they have many lines and crisp edges. The Toronado, to me, is more of a total form statement. In fact, you'll notice that there are no hard fender lines on either the front or the rear quarter.
That's part of the aerodynamic story again, right?
That works hand in hand with the aerodynamic story.
Tell me about the aerodynamics in the rear.
Well, again, just like the low hood that we mentioned, the crisp deck edge is very compatible with a low overall drag number.
What about the tail, the rear end, in that look?
Again, in the rear, we feel that we have a very distinctive design with the full-width, slim tail light. It's fully illuminated with 10 bulb unit, goes all the way across the car.
If you had to summarize your thoughts about the 1986 Toronado, what would they be?
Chuck, in my opinion, it's the most advanced personal luxury coupe in the world.
We have really been treated to a very special look at the new Toronado. It is a car that has been rethought, reshaped, and reborn. And John, thank you for sharing your insight with us.
My pleasure.
But this car's beauty is far more than just skin deep, as we are about to hear from Linda Hurd, who is with Chief Interior Designer Larry Wallen.
Thank you, Chuck. And now we're ready to enter a new world of Toronado luxury and performance. Larry, you and John have referred to this as a driver's car. Tell me more about it.
Linda, the 86 Toronado is not only functional and high-tech, it's sophisticated and elegant. While John and his people were designing the exterior, trimming off the excess fat, we were aggressively attacking the interior design. We designed the driver cockpit to be as spacious and as open as possible.
I can see there's a lot of legroom.
There certainly is. We have every bit as much room on the inside of the new Toronado as we had on the 1985 Toronado.
That's impressive. I understand there have been some advancements with the seating this year.
There certainly have, Linda. As you can tell, the seats are much thinner, leaner than our old design. We've added some power lumbar and thigh supports to these seats that were not in the 1985 program. Along with our bucket seat design, we have a 45-55 bench seat, which will allow us to have a full-width interior.
Larry, it would be difficult to say which is the one most impressive new feature, but the electronic instrument panel is certainly the most visible.
As a matter of fact, we have a buck that'll demonstrate all of the features of the new 86 Toronado instrument panel.
Let's take a look.
Linda, the instrumentation is precise, reliable. It's the ultimate in advanced technology. To the left of the steering column is the light switch, interior lights, twilight sentinel, the English metric button, and our systems monitor button. The instrument cluster is a full gauge pack consisting of a voltmeter, temperature gauge, fuel gauge, oil pressure gauge, and in the center a digital speedometer. Just below the speedometer is the driver information center, which in a normal running mode displays a tachometer. It also displays fuel used, which in this case is 6.4 gallons, the fuel economy button, 29 instantaneous miles per gallon, the range, 256 miles to go. To the right of the cluster, within easy viewing of the driver, is the radio and HVAC control. Access into the body computer is made through that HVAC control, which is probably the most innovative use of our computer technology.
To Larry Wallen and John Perkins, thank you for an outstanding presentation of the most advanced personal luxury coupe on the face of the earth. That's what Oldsmobile says about the new Toronado, and we've just seen many of the reasons why. Of course, there's nothing like your own up-close look at this exciting new Oldsmobile. You'll find it to be a superb automobile. You'll also find one of the most exciting cars you have ever driven. And take it from Chuck and me, there's nothing like that special feel this car has out on the open road. It's pure and simply a driver's car. So, go and drive.
"20 years ago, Oldsmobile introduced one of the most innovative new products in the history of the automobile, the front-wheel drive 1966 Toronado, an Oldsmobile which started an entirely new trend in personal luxury transportation. True to its heritage, the 1986 Toronado is yet another standard of engineering excellence, especially in the application of advanced computer-age electronic systems.
In its quest for engineering excellence, Oldsmobile has once again created a product which is a contemporary forerunner of the competitive cars of the future. In fact, the 1986 Toronado has one of the most sophisticated electronic systems of any automobile on the road. The Toronado is a classic example of the luxury of technology, the integration of ultra-high-tech science into easy-to-use, highly functional features which add to the total enjoyment of owning and driving one of the world's finest automobiles.
When you get behind the wheel of a new Toronado, which is where we'll take you in just a moment, you can't help but be impressed by the almost awesome scope of such technology. And yet, as you see and hear from our man on the scene, Tom Ingram, and Oldsmobile engineer Randy Parker, the entire system from concept to operation is exceptional in clarity and simplicity. Here's Tom.
Thanks, Chuck. The 1986 Toronado is a totally new automobile. New shape, new engineering, new performance. A new dimension in driver and passenger environment. Over the past 2 decades, our exploration of space has changed our language, as well as our appreciation of so-called space-age technology. What was once a rarity, like an onboard computer, has become commonplace, something we more or less expect or take for granted. Well, whatever your expectations, the 1986 Toronado will probably surpass them. This car has several onboard computers, and 2 highly advanced systems, which are truly remarkable. For example, this is the first Oldsmobile with a body computer module, or BCM system, or microprocessor. It's the brain of the total electronic system. There are sensors located throughout the car to monitor every electronic component and subsystem, such as the electronic control module, or ECM, which has a highly sophisticated diagnostic capability. The BCM also controls the electronic instrument panel, the gauges, the heating, the ventilation and air conditioning systems, the driver information center, and the engine control module, which monitors, controls, and fine-tunes the engine even as you drive. Obviously, we can't watch these computers and microprocessors as they function, but beginning from the instant you get behind the wheel, you're certainly aware of what they do for you. The first thing you see is a readout of primary information, displayed in easy-to-read and monitor rectangular shapes. And, by the way, the brightness is greater during the day and less intense at night. The voltmeter and temperature gauges are located here on the left, and the fuel gauge and oil gauge here on the right, all shown in easy-to-understand analog bar graph form. By a simple push of the button, the fuel gauge scale can be expanded to display the lower 1/4 tank, giving you more accurate information at the critical end of the scale. With the engine running, you have a digital speedometer presented in either miles per hour or kilometers per hour. A push of the button makes the selection easy. When the engine is first turned on, you see the odometer display of the accumulated total miles driven. This can be replaced with the trip odometer by pressing the button marked ODO trip. Total miles continue to be recorded even when in the trip mode. Trip range, up to 10,000 miles, is also provided, and this can be reset at any time by pressing the trip reset button. As with the speedometer, the odometer and the trip odometer may be shown in either miles or kilometers. In the lower center of the panel, the word Toronado will appear when the engine is started. This is a standby mode, and unless you want more information or the computer automatically issues a warning, it will remain on standby. However, when you depress the tach button, it becomes a bar graph tachometer, showing engine RPMs. It will remain in the tach mode until the engine is shut off, or you depress the button, or the computer overrides to provide additional information. A third mode is the fuel U. It will remain in the tach mode until the engine is shut off, or you depress the button, or the computer overrides to provide additional information. A third mode is the fuel U. In the tach mode until the engine is shut off, or you depress the button, or the computer overrides to provide additional information. A third mode is the fuel U. Shut off, or you depress the button, or the computer overrides to provide additional information. A third mode is the fuel U. You depress the button, or the computer overrides to provide additional information. A third mode is the fuel U. The engine is shut off, or you depress the button, or the computer overrides to provide additional information. A third mode is the fuel U. The engine is shut off, or you depress the button, or the computer overrides to provide additional information. A third mode is the fuel U. Tach mode until the engine is shut off, or you depress the button, or the computer overrides to provide additional information. A third mode is the fuel U. Off, or you depress the button, or the computer overrides to provide additional information. A third mode is the fuel U until the engine is shut off, or you depress the button, or the computer. An instantaneous measurement of fuel economy, which is updated every half second. Press the fuel economy button twice, and you get average kilometers per liter or average miles per gallon since the last reset. After a fill-up, or at any time, you can restart the computation by pressing the reset button. So how far can you go at your present speed, average miles per gallon, and fuel remaining? Press the range button, and you see just how far you can go before you need to take on fuel.
Tom, that looks very easy to operate, and it sure provides a wealth of information.
It really is easy to use, Chuck. Simply push any button which is marked as to specific function, and you get an immediate readout. As important, even if you don't use all of these extra functions, the Toronado electronic instrument panel provides excellent information in extremely easy-to-read and monitor displays.
Tom, you mentioned the Information Center. Tell us more about that.
Okay. Since we're now into a highly technical area, we've asked engineer Randy Parker to assist in explaining the Information Center, as well as the diagnostic capabilities. Randy, I know this new Toronado has an extremely sophisticated built-in diagnostic system. Perhaps you could explain how this system works.
Sure, Tom. Any problem that can occur throughout the life of the car is stored in the body computer module. By turning on the diagnostic system, the coded messages appear in the Information Center. And by pushing the off and warm button and holding for 3 seconds, it enables you to go into the system. The coded messages appear in the Information Center. The messages appear in the Information Center. The coded messages with current beside them are messages that events are happening right now. The ones without are history messages stored within inside the body computer.
This is truly a state-of-the-art system. I also understand there's a feature to prevent the battery from being run down if you leave the door open too long.
That's correct, Tom. If you leave the doors open, or if you leave the courtesy lamps on for more than 10 minutes, the body computer will automatically turn them off. Or if the light intensity is too bright outside, your courtesy lamps may not come on at all.
Thanks, Randy. We certainly appreciate your assistance and expertise.
Well, you're more than welcome. This is an exciting new Oldsmobile. Or if the light intensity is too bright outside, it may not come on at all.
We certainly appreciate
an exciting new Oldsmobile. And a state-of-the-art electronic system to ensure many, many miles of enjoyable driving.
The 1986 Toronado has been called the ultimate expression of sporty style and advanced technology in a personal luxury coupe. It is certainly all of this and a lot more, as Tom and Randy have shown us.
And now it's time to invite you to check out a new Toronado, to get personally acquainted with this outstanding new car, to take a drive and see why we say there's a special feel in an Oldsmobile. And no other is more special than the 1986 Toronado Promo. Oldsmobile is committed to assuring that every customer is satisfied with their new Oldsmobile, and the 1986 warranty is a major part of this commitment. Your Oldsmobile dealer also wants you to be completely satisfied, and throughout your ownership of an Oldsmobile, invites you to return for all your service needs, both during and after the warranty period. In all Oldsmobiles sold to retail customers in the U.S., you will find a very handsome portfolio like this one, which contains all of the important papers and documents pertaining to the care, operation, and maintenance of your car. Here to tell you more about it is our colleague, Linda Hurd.
Thank you, Dana. There's a great deal of important information contained in the owner's package, plus some added value items too. Among the many things contained in the portfolio is this very attractive and useful key fob, which, by the way, you can have registered, so that in case it's lost or misplaced, it can be returned to you. There's also a pen, a notepad, and a road atlas. Note that there's a compartment or pocket labeled service receipts, and you'll need to know about that. Oldsmobile recommends that you retain all receipts covering regular maintenance, repair, or warranty work. Damage which results from lack of proper maintenance is not covered by your warranties, and a repair order receipt can answer questions about possible future repairs. There are several booklets in the portfolio that can be very helpful in understanding how to operate and care for your new Oldsmobile. They include the Owner's Manual, which covers the operation and maintenance of your 1986 Oldsmobile, a tire manufacturer's warranty, depending on which tires your new Oldsmobile is equipped with, and the Maintenance Folder, which contains the schedule of maintenance operations which are related to the safety, dependability, and emission control performance of your car. There's also a booklet about the operation and maintenance of the Delco GM music systems, which supplements the Owner's Manual. And finally, the 1986 Warranty and Owner Assistance Information Booklet. Each of these documents contain information which you should know about, not just because of the warranty protection you have, but also for the added enjoyment of your new Oldsmobile. Now, let's talk specifically about the 1986 new Oldsmobile warranty.
Oldsmobile has certain specific obligations under the terms of the warranty, and so does the owner for proper operation and maintenance of the Oldsmobile. Of course, the best way to avoid misunderstanding is for every new customer to read the warranty. Right, Linda?
Yes, Dana, you're so right. We'll cover many of the provisions to give you a general understanding of your warranty. What we cover here is no substitute for reading your warranty booklet. As a proud owner of a new Oldsmobile, you'll want to read it for yourself, and I think you'll find it fairly easy reading, too. All Oldsmobile cars are covered under a limited warranty period, which is calculated from the vehicle mileage and the date the car is delivered. The basic warranty period is 12 months or 12,000 miles, whichever comes first. The warranty covers repairs to correct any malfunctions occurring during the period resulting from defects in material or workmanship. Any required adjustments will be made during the basic coverage period. Of course, there is much more to the warranty than this. For instance, 1986 Oldsmobiles have different forms of extended coverage. For the Calais, Cutlass Supreme, Cutlass Sierra, Delta 88, Custom Cruiser, and Forenza models, this means that powertrain components, the engine, transmission, or transaxle, differential, and front-wheel drive are covered to 36 months or 36,000 miles. After the 12-month, 12,000-mile basic coverage, powertrain repairs are subject to a $100 deductible charge.
And Linda, as a point of interest, the $100 deductible charge is limited to each visit, right?
Yes, Dana. In the highly unlikely event covered repairs are needed to the engine, transmission, and front-wheel drive components, there will be a $100 deductible charge for each visit. If you happen to be a 1986, 98, or Toronado owner, there's a major assembly coverage which includes engine, transaxle, front-wheel drive, engine cooling and fuel system, steering, front suspension, brakes, factory-installed air conditioning, and electrical. All of these items are explained in detail on pages 8 and 9 of your warranty booklet. Of course, these are subject to the $100 deductible fee on expiration of the basic 12-month or 12,000-mile coverage. In addition, the electronic instrument cluster on the 98 and Toronado is covered for 36 months or 36,000 miles and does not require the $100 deductible. There's also news on corrosion coverage. So much in the manufacturing development of new products that all Calais, Cutlass Supreme, Cutlass Sierra, Delta 88, Forenza, and Custom Cruiser models have rust-through corrosion coverage for 36 months without regard to mileage. And because of new design and production techniques and materials on new Toronados and 98s, that coverage is extended to 5 years or 100,000 miles. It's really quite a protection package. There's so much to talk about, and it's all explained in easy-to-understand language. In addition to what's been mentioned, the booklet has information on obtaining repairs from Oldsmobile dealers. And there are details like towing service to the nearest Oldsmobile dealer at no charge if your car cannot be driven due to a failure covered under the warranty. Or the fact that the warranty covers all Oldsmobiles registered and normally operated in the United States or Canada. And in the back, there's even a transfer procedure for second owners of 98s and Toronados that will continue the unused portion of the major assembly coverage for a nominal $25 fee. Of course, there are a few items which do not have warranty coverage, like tires, which, as we pointed out earlier, have a separate warranty from the tire manufacturers. Other items not covered are damage due to accidents or misuse, alterations, surface corrosion from the environment, or lack of maintenance. It's all here. And it's a clearly explained, detailed statement of what Oldsmobile will do to make sure that every new Oldsmobile owner is a satisfied Oldsmobile customer.
Thank you, Linda, for that very complete summary. Oldsmobile warranties also provide specific emission component coverages. The specific details are in the warranty booklet. We urge you to review all the important documents which give you the specific terms and conditions of the several warranties. The General Motors and Oldsmobile warranty provisions are exceptional steps taken to assure a high level of customer satisfaction. It's part of a commitment that Oldsmobile and your Oldsmobile dealer have made to add to the value of your investment in an Oldsmobile. Thank you. Linda and I hope you'll enjoy that special Oldsmobile feeling for many happy, carefree miles.
All right, guys, thanks for watching.